And we're live.
What's going on, Canes fam? How are we feeling? If you're like me, you're not feeling good at all. That was fucking terrible.
Oh man, that was horrible. That was
was
just absolutely ridiculous.
And I think, I hadn't really voiced my concerns that much on here because I don't like being that guy. But I was concerned about this game.
Oh, absolutely. I
for
texted you
one
and
of
told
two.
you I thought we were gonna lose, man.
Well, that was, but like I had been telling you since after the Alabama game, right? That
Yeah.
I was super concerned about this.
Yes.
And I don't think, just you look at the talent disparity and everything, it shouldn't be that way. Just, we talked about it last week, right? Mm-hmm. We talked, how are we gonna recover after losing to Bama? Are we gonna, go out, pull a Texas A&M,
right,
beat everyone? Well, let's not do that yet. I got things I want to say.
Okay, go ahead. Say what you got to say.
So, are we gonna out like that, or are we gonna be the Miami of old? You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Are we gonna stick in these close games, just that Central? This was so reminiscent of that Central Michigan game. Do you remember that?
Yep.
From 2 years ago, the same season when we lost to freaking FIU. But man, that was, I don't even know, everything was horrible. This is one of the games where it's we would joke about Lou Headley MVP. Lou had some nice kicks, but I just felt terrible about everything. Play calling, no one stepped up. Derek King had a really bad game. I'm so sick of these delayed handoffs that never fucking work.
Absolutely.
Oh my god, fucking terrible. Couldn't tackle. Don Chaney was out, so Cam Harris was obviously the only back really playing, and it was, I don't know, man. This left such a horrible, and I feel this was the game that Alabama was the measuring stick in that, hey, are we close to Bama,
Right.
But obviously we learned we're not. This game was supposed to be okay, we're playing a relatively decent, team that's, not, Power 5 comp, but at least we'd have some sort of measuring stick. And from this game, I learned that this is the same team. I don't know about you. The same team that, is in close games that we shouldn't be in close games with, other teams.
Oh, totally agree, man.
It's just fucking ridiculous. And
yeah, it's horrible. Oh, what the hell? Anyway, sorry about that, but yeah, it's totally ridiculous, man. Where'd the caller go? Here we go. Zoom calling.
So this is Zach. He's the one. Zach is someone that went to App State, graduated from App State, correct?
Yes, sir.
So he has ties to both teams. So, which is kind of unique. Yeah. So
raised in the Orange Bowl, got a degree from App.
Yeah.
As a Miami fan, Manny, you need to go. Take Lashley with you. Take Packy with you. Take all of them. That you all need to go.
Man, right.
I'm done.
Yeah.
This was, and again, this is me not showing any bias. That was disgusting. We should have blown App out of the water.
Mm-hmm.
It should not have come down to a fucking punter.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh, I couldn't agree.
I literally wanted Miami to lose in hopes that Manny would get fired.
Mm-hmm.
This right here is, to me, the equivalent. This is this season's FIU.
Yeah.
I don't care if we won. This is FIU. The most exciting part of the fucking game was watching the cat get caught.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
That was crazy.
This is. I can't. I hope Miami never gets ranked again. I might have to start pulling for the fucking Marlins because that's the only team that can do anything on that ground where the Orange Bowl used to be. This is a disgrace.
I can't argue with you on that one, Zach.
So is Rhett Lashley gonna be here next year? Or is he getting a head coaching job? Oh man, it's so funny that Canes fans were so worried about losing him, and then we have games like you
Like
see the
today,
true colors. Yeah.
what is going on? I don't understand. I mean,
And what was going like? De'Aaron King was like, I didn't pay attention to Kane's Twitter like at all today. I didn't pay attention to a lot of group chats that I'm in for like the Miami Hurricanes.
right?
But like, what was going on with De'Aaron King, man? Like, that was like, I think that probably was like the worst game I've seen him play.
Absolutely.
Am I wrong or no? Like, I know he ran like a good amount, but like, he looked like he didn't know how to throw the ball. Like he was scared to throw. Am I crazy?
No, some of those. I mean, like some of those runs too. Like he didn't even hold the ball. Like I mean, some of those you can tell they were dedicated to the run. I haven't watched it again yet, but
yeah, and we're gonna have to
do you think,
rewatch
Zach?
all this too.
Zach, you there?
Zach is probably so disgusted he just left. Honestly.
Oh.
So, and we talked.
It looks like he did leave. Sorry, Zach.
Oh, he did leave. Okay. Yeah. So, I mean, we even talked about this too. We said, like, this is the game. Like, this is the response, right? Like, everyone has said this. How are we going to come out? What's going to happen? This is the most important. Well, people have said this is the most important game of Manny's career. And, like, just to go out and it was like, this was one of the hardest games to watch as a Canes fan, like, in a long time. Yes. It was just horrible. Like, the missed tackling, that running back that they have, the bigger guy that's 6'2", not the one from Miami, Peoples or whatever, he was running all over us in that first half. And especially in the first half, he was just making us look like we were pee-wee football players, like trying to fucking tackle him. Like, geez, gotcha. That was terrible. And, honestly, man, like, we were talking, I drank the most I've ever drank during a Miami Hurricanes football game. Like, I try not to just because I want to be so attentive to the game. But, like, man, I'm like, sheesh. It was horrible.
So we're getting DM'd, messaged. People are just pissed.
People are fucking pissed. People are so
people
pissed.
Are mad that this dude told me that he's not calling because it won't end well. You know what I'm saying?
People are so upset that they don't even want to talk about how upset they are. And right? I think like the next few days, like there's going to be some hard discussions made. And like, obviously, like, I don't think Manny's not going to get like fired for this, obviously, because he won the stupid game.
Right.
But, like, how do you feel about the season now? Like I was someone who I thought I was conservative with like 9-3. But like now, based on this, like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
they looked like a 7-5 team. Like, am I wrong?
No, absolutely not.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It's just I just couldn't believe what was happening.
This is what the fucking Canes. I'm sitting in front of my friend's house after watching that piece of shit fucking game, and people are fucking DMing me like, "Yo, dude, are you okay?" Like. Saw that game.
Yeah. Hey, Zach, go ahead and try it again, man. We had another caller on. Sorry if it dropped.
Oh, we got another caller? Okay.
Yeah, Zach wants to call in.
Oh, okay. Yeah, get him in here.
Oh, sorry. That was the other Zach. He said the call dropped, but he was done.
Oh, okay. The call dropped. Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, to me, like, this might be overreaction, and I tried not to be the one that's overreacting, but like, it's like every position is up for grabs now. Like, after a horrendous showing like that, not every, but like, that was just, oh my God. Yeah.
And man, I hope Cam's all right.
You really mean Don?
Don Cheney, yeah, Don Cheney. Sorry.
Yeah.
I hope he's all right.
Yeah. And it's just, and did you notice too that that delayed hand, or was it a delayed handoff? The Cam Harris run on like 3rd and 2, everyone knew that was coming. Everyone knew that was coming, and that was
they jammed it right up the middle to stop it. They knew what the hell was going on.
Yeah, they knew what was going on. It was the same thing that's happened all game. If we didn't get that, oh my god, we wouldn't even be doing a show right now.
Nope. Absolutely ridiculous, man.
I'd be driving all the way to fucking Florida right now.
Oh my god.
To personally fire Manny myself.
Oh, Jesus. It's just I couldn't believe what I was watching. Is it in their heads that they think they're better than what they really are? I mean, because this team is not as good as advertised as what we're being fed. It just doesn't look like it. I mean, I don't know what I mean. And like I text you, I'm almost on the Fire Lashley train, man. I mean, what the hell?
I don't know about.
You gotta open
I don't
that
know
shit
about
up,
that
man.
yet. Yeah, I don't understand. Like, when can I ask you something too? Like randomly, when has like a designed run for De'Aaron King worked? It's always when he does it on his own. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Point.
So I don't know. It's.
Well, got a text from Rhett Smashley. What the fuck was that? That's what he wants to know.
That's true. Truer words have never been spoken. I don't know what the fuck that was.
I was to say I wish I knew. Brother.
I'm sorry. Can you even see me right now?
No, it's fine.
Okay. Yeah, because
it sounds better actually because I think just from your phone, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's why I did it this way. I mean,
right.
Are there any positive takeaways that you want to talk about before like I lose my fucking mind?
Well, no. Besides, no. I don't know. I didn't see James Williams in there. I don't know why I didn't see him in there.
I mean, on that kick return, he got fucking beat. I don't know if you noticed that. Him and someone else.
See that.
I can't remember who the other one was, but yeah, they got beat. I can't even see the comments too. I don't know if anyone's commenting. But yeah, no, he got. I thought Keyshawn had a few nice catches.
Right, there's a couple bright spots.
Harley had some drops, right? Like, I mean,
yeah, that was unusual. He had 3.
Arroyo had that one nice catch. I mean, I wish they would have used him more. Mallory had that drop early. I'm like, dude, come on. Like, it was just, we should have scored on that drive too.
Yes.
Disgusting, man.
Too much trying to run up the middle.
I don't understand. I just don't understand. I really don't.
Is King really? I mean, is King really 100% then? I mean,
I don't know. I think this is something like, for me at least, like I have to go back and rewatch this game.
Right.
And really see. But I'm like, I mean, I was already worried enough this season. I told you I was worried about this game.
Yeah.
I'm worried about next week. A Big Ten opponent. Like, they knocked off some teams last season.
We got a caller. Let's see who it is.
Okay. Worst part is we're going to be at that game, too. Could you imagine going to that game? And
I'm going to be really mad. All right, thanks for calling the Kings Calling Show. Who's this?
Hey, it's Jimmy, man. How you guys doing?
Jimmy, I'm not doing real well. I'm not doing real well, Jimmy. I know we won, but yeah, I'm not doing real well, bro.
That was a really bad game to watch.
How about you?
No, man. Me, I'm glad we won, but I mean, let's be real, man. Our plays are like too predictable, man.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
I feel like Appalachian State knew everything that we were doing. We just every time we ran, they knew we ran. Every time we threw, they knew it. So we have to.
Predictable.
We want to be a better football team. The first thing we got to do is we got to get better at mixing the plays up, man.
Can I just say something too?
That's gonna really hurt us.
Jimmy is one of the most optimistic fans I know, and is one of the more. He's just one of the more optimistic, nicest, coolest fans I know, and he feels this way.
Right.
So that kind of puts things into perspective. That we have a bad problem. We have a problem. And
we really do.
And I don't really know where things go from here. As I'm sitting in this random neighborhood in my car talking about Miami Hurricanes football, it's Yeah. Is there?
Yeah.
Let me ask you this, Jimmy. Since you are the positive, you're one of the more positive Canes fans. What's something positive you took away from this game? What's something good that you took away from this game?
You know, I think I think Derek King played, you know, decently. With all the, with all the pressure that he was being thrown at him. I think he played a decent game. It wasn't his best game, but he played good. He played good enough for us to win.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, yeah. I think there were some throws he missed. He was off target a little bit, but he ran okay when he needed to. But I think this was a game that like I can't even name. I mean, I guess Keyshawn. I don't know. Bubba had some nice plays, right? I'm trying to think.
Yeah, Bubba had a couple good ones. He had a good hit, couple good hits. Nesta had a couple in there, but I mean, we're only talking about a couple. They should have been all night doing that. These guys should have dominated these people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah, they should have. I really thought that we were gonna I really thought we were gonna come out a lot better, considering that we got manhandled last week. I thought we were gonna come in there and go like, oh, we want to show what we really got.
Right.
I thought this was gonna be like a not a blowout game, but I thought it'd be at least a 3 touchdown game.
Yeah,
that's what I was hoping for.
And I gotta change something I said earlier. I know I said like this is a game where like you can't really take away anything positive, and I said like the whole Lou Headley thing. I gotta say Lou Headley did pin them a few times too, so he did.
Oh, Lou Headley's still kicking ass.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about our special teams, except for that one.
Yeah. Well, no.
Except for that one.
I don't want people to think that I'm saying that Lou Hadley had a bad game. I'm just saying, like, you know what I mean? It just felt, terrible. And I don't know where to go from here. Honestly, I don't really want to waste, I know we're going to get callers and stuff, but I just don't even want to waste time talking about it because I'm just, really pissed off.
Yeah. I can understand that, man. It's just frustrating, bro. I just don't get this team, man. And then now, did you see Michigan State again put on a hell of a show? So now next week's game, what's gonna happen then?
I'm worried.
Get our asses blowed out, man.
Yeah. So Jimmy, last question before we say goodbye to you. Does this change your perspective on this season, like your record projection for this season or anything?
No, not really. I still think we're gonna have. I still think we're gonna have a good season. I mean, we just have to. We just have to clean up the little things that we're doing, and like I said, like I said, and I'll say it again. We have to. We have to mix up the plays because if we don't, we're in for a long season if we do that. And especially against Michigan State, we can't. Because I saw some of that game. We can't mess around with them. They're no joke.
Right.
Yeah.
So we got to play our A game.
Yeah, they had a great another great showing today. So yeah, I'm really worried. Not gonna lie.
Yeah. Hey Jimmy, thanks so much for coming on, man, and calling. We appreciate it. We always appreciate you, man.
Anytime, man. I love you guys. You guys are like family, man.
We love you too, man.
You guys are like
absolutely,
family, man.
Absolutely, Jimmy. You have a great day, my friend.
All right, you got it, man. Go Canes.
Go Canes, brother.
I gotta say, man, honestly, these games are so, when something like this happens, you feel so shitty. But it's talking to people, other Canes fans and stuff, like Jimmy, for instance, it makes you feel a little better.
Sigmund, you're right. Arroyo did look good.
Yeah, also, I gotta say too, I don't know if you noticed it, the little trips formation that they had Mallory, Arroyo, and then they had Rambo in, and they threw that little 11-yard pass to Rambo, I think it was.
Uh-huh.
That I liked that form. I was like, why can't we see more of that? Why can't we have those things? What the fuck? We ran that once, and then that's it, and then we're gonna hand the ball off to Cam and shotgun up the middle, 37 million times.
So Sigmund says we have to get a few games under our belt. We need to start up game Alabama. We need a startup game. Alabama wasn't it? I think I understand what he's trying to say.
Yeah, I get what he's saying,
Yeah.
but at the same time, like, sheesh.
Yeah, I get it, but we should have came out honestly and stuck our foot on these guys' freaking throats, and we shouldn't have let up. I mean, honestly, we should have whooped these guys' asses by 42 to at least 17, easy. And and one of the touchdowns should have came in garbage time when we had all these damn freshmen playing and these walk-ons and all that shit. That should have been playing tonight. You know what I'm saying? And here we are wasting our shit. I mean, man, it's just so frustrating with this team. I just don't get it.
I don't get it at all. I really don't either. And then, I mean, you look around too, and I hate seeing this of like, oh, we should have hired this guy, but it's so frustrating when you look and you see Mario Cristobal over at Oregon, and you see how that offense is running, and it looks real nice, real efficient. Like there's some, and
Mitchell Colazzo says fans were booing. It says it reminds him a lot of Coach Mark Richt. I saw a lot of that on Twitter too. I saw a lot of that on Twitter. Saw a lot of that in our chat. In our OBB, the club OBB chat we're in. Oh man, yeah, it's just a fancier Mark Richt, basically. You know what I mean?
So you mean a younger,
well, yeah,
but I mean, the one thing I'll say though,
yeah,
Mark Richt did a lot for this program, like outside of the,
correct.
The whole,
right. I'm just talking about play calling, strictly play calling.
Yeah,
that's it. All right, hold on. We got another caller.
Okay,
yeah, I'm just talking about play calling. We got another caller.
Okay. Who we got?
I don't know. Let's find out. Thanks for calling in. Who's on the line?
Hey, Robert, it's the coach.
Coach, what's up, man?
What's up, Coach?
What's up, guys?
Not this bullshit, Coach.
That made me genuinely laugh.
Right, I know.
What's
Me
up,
too.
Oh God.
I'm sorry, guys. I can't help it. But how about those Canes, huh? They
Coach,
pull off the W.
I gotta ask you, straight off the bat. I'm giving you all the questions right now. What did you think of De'Aaron King's performance from a coach's standpoint? Rattled.
Couldn't get in the rhythm. Couldn't see. Panicked. Not panicked. Like he didn't give a chance for routes to open up. He would just take off at times. He threw 2 or 3 really good deep balls that he connected on. Got a pass interference call on. I just feel he never looked comfortable in the pocket. There was even one play that was very evident of his entire night. It was really indicative of his performance tonight. They only brought 3, and he had all day in the pocket, and he runs out to the perimeter to try to make a play on the edge. Do you
think that that's because of lack of trust of his O-line, or what do you think that is?
Oh, good.
Obviously, we don't know what's going through his head.
Combination of things. There's no doubt. Yeah, I mean, you start off with the first third down of the game, and Will Mallory drops a solid pass, which would have been a big first down. Would have put us in the red zone.
Yep.
Harley had about 3 drops. Restrepo has a drop somewhere there. Rambo has a drop. So when you start coupling that with when they went, I think they brought 7, 8, like 4 or 5 times, and they were aggressive at times and they shot gaps really well. And when they did that, he got hit a couple of times, and I think all those things they add up, and then we get happy feet, but his feet really saved the offense. The few points we were able to score were a result of him creating with his feet and sometimes not giving an opportunity for things to develop. I think it's saying that you've got a guy like Rambo, you've got a guy like Keyshawn, and we only threw 3 deep balls.
Thank you for the sub, Michael. I appreciate that.
I mean, I don't know, guys. I don't know if it's just De'Aaron. Is it Rhett trying to find where's his comfort zone?
Right.
They're just where's this so out of sync? I don't know where to begin. The offensive line did some nice things at times, and then other times they didn't. But if you notice the fourth quarter, Lashley started lining up Mallory. And once you line them up and you put them up on the offensive line to help out, our run game got a little bit better. And it was almost as if, okay, we're going to win this game on the ground, which is okay. You have to do that, you do that. But it's just frustrating. We're so out of sync, guys. Did we get better from last week to this week? Hard to say.
I didn't see it. Because, I mean, what are we saying? That App State is just one level lower than Alabama? I mean,
wait, can I say something too?
Go ahead.
Did you guys catch when the commentator had said, like, oh yeah, App State just reloads like they're Alabama?
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
I was just like, oh no, we're losing to mini Alabama.
Right. That's crazy.
Oh God, dude.
All right, Coach.
The Alabama of the Sun Belt.
Right. So, Coach, one last question, real quick. What do you think we need to do to fix this?
Fire me.
You want the truth?
Yeah, I want the truth.
That's what he's thinking.
That's what we're here for.
The truth is, there's nothing that can be done. Let's be honest, guys. Jimmy's and Joe's.
Right.
Raymond Steed had to play 3/4 of the snaps tonight after Keontra got hurt.
Yeah.
Bradley Jennings had half the other snaps at strong side at middle linebacker. We're in trouble. We are in trouble defensively. We are in trouble. But luckily, Tyreek has done a nice job that at least you got one side of the field you can kind of shut down a little bit. You can shade your coverage. Bubba Bolden didn't really show up in pass coverage. Right? I mean, we're in trouble on defense, and I've been saying this all year. And on offense, we've yet to establish our identity. Yeah. Not to say that still can't happen, because it still can. I mean, let's be honest. Notre Dame almost lost to Toledo, in their opening game at home this year.
Yeah.
And they had to come from behind not once but 3 times in the fourth quarter. So the identity offensively has to come together. Next week, Michigan State is going to own the trenches. So
yeah,
they better come up with a great game plan, because Michigan State will own the trenches.
Yeah.
And that's a big concern when we struggle with a smaller, quicker, and tougher opponent that's a bunch of 1 and 2 stars and a couple of 3 stars that's so well coached. Maybe if we had a great coaching staff across the board, we would get the most out of these guys. But there's a combination of things, but there's some teaching points that aren't being processed and received. And when in God's name are you going to play the freshmen? When are you going to play Cam Kinsley again? They're going to lose these kids. They're going to lose these kids.
Well,
these
kids
are going to say, "What am I doing here?"
A little bit.
He got 12 snaps, right? 12 snaps, right? 12.
Is that what it was?
He got 12 when Bubba got. Yeah, Bubba was a little tired and came out and got mixed up. Got like 12. Leonard Taylor 0 again.
Yeah, I didn't see.
I mean, I just Tariq Austin Cave, Avery Huff. Listen, I know they're not the smartest guys, but they're fast and they're athletic.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you keep trying to match up with guys that I can only trust this guy because I can trust him mentally? I'm telling you guys, if we don't outscore people, 8 wins might be hard. 7 wins might be hard. Guys.
Yeah. After tonight, I have to agree with you, Coach.
Yeah.
All right, Coach. We're gonna let you go on this one. We got another one already on the line, and
be well, my friends. Be well. Be well.
You too, night. Coach. Appreciate you calling, brother.
All right. I gotta. Bye-bye. Goodbye. I gotta head out too, Robert.
All right, Matt. We'll talk to you later.
Yeah, I'll try to be in the chat too.
Sounds good. I'll text you.
All right. Keep your heads up high, Canes fans.
Hopefully this is just a Bama. Hopefully it's just a Bama layover. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. All right, brother. We'll talk to you later, man.
Peace.
See ya. All right, caller. Who do we have on the line?
Hey, what's up, Caniacs? This is Couch Potato Mitch. How's it going, man?
What's up, brother? How you doing today, man?
Hey, living the dream, bud. Hey, I'm 6 feet above ground. Can't complain much, right?
Right. Absolutely, you got that. But I mean, look. So what's your thoughts on the game, brother?
All right, so there's a lot to take in my opinion. Obviously, a lot of it wasn't good, and that's trying to dial it back a little bit. Obviously, the frustrations are running high when we hear the fans booing in the crowd. Right, a lot of play calling similar to Coach Mark Brick. A lot of similarities to what we've already seen in the past. But I don't think there's enough comparison about, or at least talking about, how good this App State team actually was or is, in my opinion. I think they're going to do pretty well this season. Now, that's not an excuse for Coach Menendez, in my opinion. And because we literally just saw Arkansas pump the brakes off Texas, right? And they're a huge underdog. We just saw Oregon go in Ohio State's home and beat them. But at the end of the day, I would say the defense did pretty well. Seeing how they just played a team full of super seniors. But, so I'm looking at that like they did all right. Now the offense, though, I've got nothing for that. And it kills me because we want them all to be good. But then, as fans, I'm part of the younger generation where I saw them win once, and that was it. After that, it kind of just fell apart. But you hear a lot of older fans talk about how they need to have the standard. We've got this standard, and I'm sitting here like, dude, I don't know what standard you're talking about. That doesn't apply because it's been so far removed from the history of the program, right? Mm-hmm. How do you uphold any player to a standard that they've never seen, if that makes sense? Nonetheless, the coaching staff has never seen that, in my opinion, right? I mean, Coach Menendez, he coached successfully at Florida State, I guess, but he was an analyst, I want to say. And then lastly, he had success at SMU, but I don't know what's happened from the time I even tweeted this out. What happened to Rhett Lashley from SMU to here? And it might be faith in players, but honestly, running it on 3rd and 7th, last game and even a couple times this game, and some of that might be a read where Derek decided to run it himself, rightfully so, because he made it happen a couple times tonight. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, you got to pull him aside and be like, hey, someone's got to say something. Because like I said, you got the fans booing, you got the commentators making something, saying something about it. And then you've got, couch potatoes like me who just yelling at my TV the whole time. And I'm like, dude, what is going on?
Yeah.
Like, this guy's supposed to be an innovator. He's supposed to be here, wanting recruits to come. And, the previous caller, Coach, right?
Yep.
He alluded to it a couple times. How do we have 2 5-stars who aren't seeing the field? Because we'll look at, and again, I'm not a coach, right? My thing is how do you sell this program to the future kids? It's got to be, hey, you come into this team, you bring something here, and you're going to play. The sheer talent at this point is what's got to play, in my opinion. But, that's what a lot of the 5-star kids are going to kind of bring. But you're seeing 5-star kids not play. Because Hall got beat a couple times deep. Mm-hmm. And that should have been he did play well in a couple situations. He had a couple good tackles in the open. I think he had like 1 or 2 pass breakups. I don't have the stats in front of me, but there were a couple times where he got beaten in. And that touchdown that they had, I think the last touchdown that they had, where there was no safeties over the top, they thought it was going to be a run play, so they kind of like brought a lot in. I mean, there's a lot to dive into this game. There's a lot of frustrations. We're not seeing enough development, where the offensive play calling is atrocious, in my opinion, and we're not seeing what we would like to see. But then again, you've got to peel it back. They just got smacked by Alabama, and they did play a very good App State team. Don't get me wrong, this game was the last straw for me to support Coach Menendez, in my opinion. So Killer out, he's an uphill battle with me personally. But I'm not sure where we go with this. I don't know. You could say start all the freshmen and see what happens, but then you're blowing out the chances of winning any games, in my opinion. Right. Because you're gonna have to lean on some experience. I don't know. Kenny, you tell me what you think on some of the things I'm saying.
No, I agree with a lot of the stuff you're saying, but I mean, as far as the freshmen, who knows what's going on, why they're not playing? I mean, because Kitchens I thought played pretty good. Why James Williams ain't there anymore? Because in the fourth quarter when he was in there in Alabama, he was tearing up the backfield. Granted, it was their second team, but still, he was tearing up the back. So I don't.
Second team is better than the first team.
Right, but I mean, I'm just saying. I don't know why. I don't know why they're not seeing him because I don't know. But I mean, we did have some unusual stuff from Mike Harley tonight. What's that, my friend?
I was going to say, even same thing with Leonard Taylor, right? Because the only person that went off, there was like a handful of players, in my opinion, that went off tonight.
Mm-hmm.
I think Carter crushed it, in my opinion, as a striker. I mean, obviously, he was the reason why we had the turnover, right? You got Nesta, who finally decided to show up all 4 quarters, and then Stevenson. Let me say this about Stevenson. There better not be an or next to his name next week, in my opinion.
Right there. DJ Ivey should not see the field again, man.
Yeah, I'm not even going to touch that one with a 10-foot pole. But I would say, when we're talking about the trenches, it's got to be, like I said, going back to let's just talk about recruiting. If we're going to try and recruit these kids, these high-level guys, it's got to be that we can show them that they can play right away. Not we're conservative on them. Now, Keyshawn Smith alluded it this past week in the press conference. I don't know who asked him the question. I just kind of saw an article about how he was being stubborn about learning the playbook, and that's why he didn't see the field that much, which is that's pretty reasonable.
Mm-hmm.
But I think at some point when you're seeing your super safeties, not your super seniors, I'm sorry, being the safety position, blowing coverages. I mean, come on, man. Or like, I don't think we would see that much of a drop off between, maybe Ford or Miller with LT, which would be enough to at least bring that conversation to the table with recruits, being like, hey, look, he's not playing that much yet. He's still got some playing, but he's at least playing. He didn't play as LT. I'm talking about specifically.
No, I got you.
Didn't play during Alabama. I'm just reference like clearing the air on that one. But LT didn't play against Alabama or App State. Like, you got to be kidding me, dude.
Right.
I don't know. That's just the recruiting aspect for me.
Yeah,
that's where the real frustration is. Because...
Sorry, go ahead.
No. You go ahead, bro.
No, I was just gonna say I don't know why LT's not getting it in any kind of play. I mean, like zero. I don't think he got any last week. And from what Coach said, he didn't get any this week. So I'm really trying to figure out why he's not even getting there for like one. I mean, you can tell, why he's not in there in any situation. I don't know. Maybe it's something could be he doesn't know the plays. Could be. I don't know. I'm not even going to try to speculate because, what I'm saying, I don't want to put my foot in my mouth.
But at the end of the day, at the end of the that's fair. But at the end of the day, Nessa's best known for his bull rushing abilities, and you're telling me that LT can't do the same thing, and that's at least going to give you a fresh guy.
Right.
So now we're cracking almost the three deep rotation.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So that's my logic behind it. But there was another pet peeve of mine. And it happens every freaking season. It's gotta be the poor tackling.
Yeah.
That's what led to the first touchdown.
Absolutely.
Like you take away the touchdown and the first touchdown in the kickoff return. We do fairly well. We win the game at least by 2 touchdowns.
Yeah. But we should have won that game by 4. I mean, if we're going to be 100% honest.
Oh, yeah, 100%. But when I was looking at it, for me, I don't know if it was just the angle I was watching the TV. I couldn't really see the wide receivers. All I saw was King trying to, survive.
Yeah.
But there were times he was bending. He was coming out the pocket a little bit sooner than he should have. Like, there was 3-man rushes, and he was trying to roll out the pocket. Like, I don't know why. Maybe to try and bring that extra threat as a runner and try and have the wide receivers be able to actually get separation. But, yeah, man, there's a lot of things I'm just not understanding. And to be honest, he didn't look like himself to me.
Who?
I don't know.
King?
In the King. Yeah, I'm sorry, King.
No,
King in the first half for sure. Like, I was worried. Like, to me, it almost seemed like he was hurt, but then he'd take off and, he'd be able to get a couple yards. I'm like, oh, maybe it's none of that. I don't know. Maybe it's in his head. I don't know, man. I just really hope that his team gets it together, because what was supposed to be 3 cake games between App State and Michigan State, the only one looking like it should be, and hopefully a cake game, is going to be Connecticut. And after that, what will we play, Virginia?
Yeah. And then I think we got a week off, and then don't we have North Carolina after that, I think, right?
And I think after that is North Carolina North Carolina State.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
and
that's right.
And
yeah.
North Carolina State, but North Carolina's getting whooped by. They were lost so much by Mississippi State. But I mean, I don't know. I think we came with the expectations after last week, thinking that the Coastal was going to be blown wide open, right? And Miami had a real chance to just take it and be able to use that as a recruiting force, right? Because there were some top-notch recruits there at the game, and that was the performance that we displayed.
Yeah, that's gonna hurt. That's gonna hurt a little bit. I mean, yeah, that's gonna hurt a little bit. Oh my God, yeah. But yeah,
and you'll hear players say, "Go ahead, brother."
No, go ahead, man. I was just gonna read some comments. That's all. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was gonna say, but you'll hear, players, and definitely hear the politician up there say, "Well, at least we won a good game." Well, at some point, someone needs to step up and be the leader. It's clearly not going to be the coaches, right? There's no accountability there. So I think the players have to do a little bit more stepping up. For example, I work with kids on average from like 18 to 25-year-old, right? Mm-hmm. And, they're responsible for other kids. And so, when they mess up, who do I hold up accountable? I hold 2 people accountable. First, myself, because maybe I wasn't clear and concise enough, right? Number 1. Number 2, the people who are directly in charge of them, right? So if I got a senior who's constantly messing up, like, I'm going to come talk to that senior. And if the younger guy, the freshman, is messing up, I'm going to talk to the senior. Regardless, there's got to be a friction point where somebody has to be held responsible. But at the end of the day, we want more responsibility and higher standards so the program can develop. But then the coaches aren't even holding up the standards. So it's like, I don't know, man. It's a cluster. I think the only way we get out of this for this year, in my personal opinion, it's got to be the players. The players got to step up. The players got to make plays happen. Play like Tyreek Stevenson tonight, Carter tonight, Nesta, in my opinion, they stepped up big time. King, I guess Smith, to me, he stood out. He stood out like a champ. That dude put it on the line, in my opinion. And that snag he had, that bomb, the only real bomb.
That one where he had to stretch out for it or reach out for it.
Dude, oh man,
that was a hell of a catch.
Right? And so we now know who wide receiver number 1 is, right? And we all thought it was going to be Rambo, but or Harley, man. Like, that's another thing, right? Harley's a senior guy. He has what? He had 3 drops this game. Well, okay, we'll say 2. I think it was 2 drops for sure, because I think it was like back to the same drive, right? And then he had a drop for the touchdown with a PI. But I think that PI, in my personal opinion, that was him just trying to stop the DB.
An interception. Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm going to eat that, right? Because, like DBs, if they know they're going to get beat, what are they going to do? They're going to PI him, because, hey, getting a PI is better than a touchdown. So
yeah,
I can respect that. But, I mean, that should have been a point where coaches got involved. It's like, hey, you're done, bud. You're gonna ride the pie cone for at least the next 1, 2, 3 drives. I saw a clip on Twitter as soon as this game ended, was how Saban was up 40 points against an FBS or FCS team, and he was yelling at his coaches. And I'm not saying that needs to be but I'm not saying that needs to be the approach. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is there needs to be some sort of accountability. And I feel like there's no accountability. It's all, well, I'm going to be the type of coach who's going to be boys with you. Now, I'll give you an example that I had myself was I got promoted amongst my peers, like we were all the same level, and then I became, in charge of the team, I guess you could say. And you know what happened? Because I was boys with them, they tried to screw me over. Now, and not like an intentional way. Long story short, man, I'm in the Army. So it's not like an intentional way. It's kind of like a messing around with each other, but it's like you build those relationships, and then people that don't know how to separate relationships and work, it becomes a problem.
Yep.
Right. And that's what we saw with Mark Rick and his son, which that one I can understand because it's a personal one. But I respect Coach Rick for stepping down. Then we saw that with Golden and D'Onofrio, right? So these are a continuation of issues. So I mean, I got to think I'm hoping that Manny Diaz goes in there and says, "Hey, abandon the run, dude. We're going to go full air raid, and then maybe every few plays we're going to try and run." Most teams got to be, they have to establish a run before they can get, start throwing in the air. I think it's got to be total opposite.
Yeah,
I think it's got to be, hey, we got to throw.
Absolutely. Right from the get-go. Start from the get-go. Start throwing the ball, open up the middle, and then start running. I mean, it seems like that's what we did last year. I don't know why it seems so different this year. I mean, I'm just confused, bro.
Well, you mentioned the OBB earlier, right? So,
yeah.
I also listened to them, and who was it? It wasn't Toast. It wasn't Scoop. It was Roman. Roe was talking about ego, right?
Yeah.
Last year, the coaches knew, leading to 2-3 seasons ago 2 seasons ago when Lashley took over, he knew that the offensive line was an issue. So I guess when you know the offensive line's an issue, I guess you're not going to run the ball. But I mean, we're having the same issue. Like, they might have thought that we improved drastically over the season, but I don't think that's the case whatsoever. I think it's open up the playbook. Or not open up the playbook, because he already Lashley addressed that as well. But I would say start throwing it a little bit more, and then try and establish the run. Because what happens every time is we'll either do a run play and then follow that up with another run play and follow that up with another run play and then go 3 and out, or we'll throw, get a short gain. Immediately, everyone knows we're running after that, and then attempt to throw on 3rd and 7 or 3rd and 5 every single time.
Yeah, because we'll hurry up and rush to the line to try to sneak somebody.
Yeah, but it's like, but they stack the box. That's the thing, is almost every time they've been stacking the box. Very few times are we getting, like, I don't know if you noticed when we were on the field for a lot of the time, how many 3rd downs did we give up because the DBs were playing off 5-10 yards? That I don't know how. I'm lost with that, because when T-Rob came in, that was what he preached. He preached, and I know it's not his fault. It's got to be the DC's fault. Whatever the DC says goes, type thing.
Right.
So if we're playing zone, then we're going to play zone. But I mean, at some point, you have to understand that we are a better team and we have more talent. I don't know. Because I think if you play that way, if you at least trying to establish some sort of confidence in these guys, they'll play like it. Like Stevenson, he got targeted, I don't know how many times, but he had enough pass breakups where he's like, dude, not today, homie. You know what I'm saying? And that's the perspective I got. And that's why he was lights out.
Yeah, Stevenson played another good game.
Yeah, I mean,
I thought Stevenson played another good game. I'm gonna have to sit back and watch it. I don't know if he got beat, but I mean, his tackling was pretty right on.
Yeah,
his instincts looked pretty good from what I can remember. I don't remember him getting beat that I can remember. But I was watching it from a fan's perspective, and then now I gotta tomorrow just rewatch it again and see what happened. I mean, I don't know.
I think you'll be surprised with how, in my opinion, I haven't rewatched it either. I would say I think we're gonna walk away with that game saying that we were pretty equally matched, in my opinion. I blame I blame the podcasters and the beat writers for getting our hopes up every single year. And then we get hit with this, right?
Right. Well, we tried to be as truthful as possible here now.
No, I know. And I'm not saying you guys. I'm not
brother.
saying OBB. I'm not pinpointing it, right? But it's like, and Toast alluded to it too, is that, like, we try, every year we got to buy it. And this, realistically should be the year. But then, we go and have performances like this. I will say I am curious to see, because look, we're seeing teams, and again, I'm not talking about Miami, and I'm not handing out any excuses. I'm still pissed.
No, I understand. I think I know where you're going with this.
And I see. I know you get me, but it's those fans out there like, oh, here we go. He's handing out excuses for me. No. Anyone that's listened to couch potato Mitch? No, I am not handing that dude any excuses. But I will say, I am curious to see this additional year that a lot of these players get, what this does for college football. Now, it's not going to get everyone closer to Alabama or Georgia. Maybe Clemson, I guess, based on how they play. I'm not sure about Ohio State because their wide receivers are pretty dope. But that second tier where everyone thought they were going to start getting closer, well, does this raise some of the third-tier teams into that second tier, right, because of these super seniors that we're going to have from COVID? Mm-hmm. So I'm curious to see how the rest of this pans out. I mean, obviously, Notre Dame barely beat – I'm looking at some of these. Notre Dame barely beat Toledo, right? Texas barely beat Colorado. Who else we got? I mean, Florida State wasn't doing
mean
so
Texas
hot
A&M almost beat Colorado because Texas got the ass whooped today by Arkansas.
Yeah, my bad. Yeah, I got that
mixed
up. Yeah,
I got
so you. Texas lost to Arkansas. Yeah, and Texas A&M barely won.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, aside from that, I mean, Florida, I don't really know how they're going to pan out this year. I feel like they're going to get smacked in the SEC. I'm hoping for that, like any other true Canes fan. But yeah, man, I don't know. Let me ask you this: after this performance, how do you feel, or what do you think our record's going to be?
I'm gonna still stick with my 10-2, only because I'm gonna just lay this one right now because Alabama whooped their ass last week. I'm hoping that's all it's gonna be. It's just a little layover because of that. We're gonna find out next week because that Michigan State team, their first game they did really well. This game they did today they did really well. So now I'm not gonna lie, a little bit more worried about this one than I was before. But I'm gonna still stick with the 10-2 now. I'm not gonna go overboard. I'm pissed off, very pissed off about today. Didn't like what I seen, but I'm not ready to fire anybody just yet because everything's still trending in. I can't say trending in the right direction, but we still have the Coastal still in front. Let's just go with the Coastal. We still have the Coastal in front of us right now, so I'm not gonna jump out. I'm still gonna stick 10-2. But what about you? Are you feeling any different after today?
And this is what gets me. It is, I don't think it might. I think we are way more talented than other teams. I don't think that's the problem. I think what we're looking at is the intangibles, right? So we've got tangibles, which is the physical fitness part, right? Or not so much, but like, how big we are, mm-hmm. right? How strong we are. Those are tangibles. But the intangibles, the leadership, the motivation, the dedication to the game, being able to stay focused, that's where I question a lot of this leadership as far as from coaches on down to players. For example, I mean, you got to think running it on a 3rd and 7, that's got to get the players. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And I'm talking about the Alabama more specifically, but then we saw a little bit of it tonight where you could already see that the players knew, in my opinion, that the players knew that they were going to get stopped at the line, but they had to run a play.
Oh, yeah.
So I think that was more likely to beat the team than the actual opponent. Now, don't get me wrong, Virginia Tech's looking pretty good. I'm not going to count on North Carolina or North Carolina State. Shoot, even Pitt should have did a shootout today in Tennessee. Now, obviously, Tennessee started crumbling, but that's still SEC country. So, true. I don't know, man. I fully expect no coaches having to get the players into the Florida State game. I think that should be a game that, I mean, the coach has got to get you up for that one. Then that's an issue. But another issue that I think that would be a huge issue.
Absolutely.
But going into the season, we thought these were going to be cupcake games after Alabama, of course, right? We thought we were going to manhandle App State. We thought we based off what happened in Michigan State and then UConn. And now we're sitting back like scratching our head like, what's going to happen? I think the only thing that might be to our benefit, because they're going to have some corn-fed dudes, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
On the line anyways. But I think the Heat will hopefully get to them like they did today. I don't know if you saw in the third quarter, you can kind of see when the offense started getting it going that defense was just worn out against App State's defense, in my opinion. there were some times where you could see the fatigue kicking in, and the BS flops too.
Yeah,
it was kind of stopping our momentum. But I don't know. If you had to ask me, I said we go 9-3. I don't like that. That's not something I would be happy about. Then we'd have to see who would be willing to stay for the bowl game, because that could be an issue, right? If we've got a lot of super seniors, so if none of them want to play in the bowl game, then we're looking at, who was it? Was it Florida State? Not Florida State. I'm sorry, the Gators. Who did they play last year in their bowl?
I don't remember, to be honest, my brother. I've had a couple beers.
But I remember. Sure. But I remember like half that team not playing, right? Like Kyle Pitts didn't play that game.
Right.
And so like we kind of run into that issue. What are we going to chalk that bowl up? Are we going to, let's say, well, a lot of our players didn't play, so that's kind of like where, I don't know, there's a lot of directions that this team can go. I think the number one thing has got to be leadership. It's got to be established in the locker room.
I agree. All right, man. Well, I'm gonna let you go. I'm about to cut this thing off.
Absolutely, brother. Hey, I appreciate letting me get on.
Hey, anytime, man. We do it Tuesday at 8, and we do it right after every game. So call in anytime, my brother. I appreciate you. So, anyways, enjoy the rest of your night, man. And I think we might be all right, to be honest.
I hope so. I hope I'm wrong. I hope we go 11-1. But
of course you do.
We got to see it.
But I mean, reality is reality. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is true.
Because I would love for us to go to 11-1, but 10-2, 9-3 might just be the reality.
Yeah.
But I guess we'll find out.
Yeah. Well, we will find out. That's for sure.
Absolutely. All right, my brother. I appreciate you. You enjoy the rest of your night. Okay.
Yeah, you as well, boss.
All right, man. Take care. All right, guys. Close one. I'm not real happy. I see a lot of people not happy. I've got some text messages. People don't want to talk about it. They're too upset to talk about it. I understand. I get it. I'm upset too. Greg Bush, I agree. I mean, it is what it is. This O-line, I don't know. I hope they can figure something out. But, yeah. Some of these guys did real well. Some of these guys need some work. I don't know if it's because they were smaller and faster. Our guys are bigger. I don't know. But, we got next week Michigan State. Hopefully I'll be there. But, man, enjoy the rest of your night, guys. Enjoy NFL tomorrow. If you're watching the late Pac-12 night game, enjoy that. And we will be here Tuesday night, 8 p.m. Make sure you're there. All right, guys, we'll talk to you later. Have a great night. As always, go Canes.